Hello, I'm Helen, a British expat in Korea, an aspiring historian, looking for knowledge in the forgotten past.
Hello, I'm a guest here and I'm here to learn about my heritage, I guess, right?
Sacrifice. You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Korea, you might know, is no stranger to this.
Really?
Korean sacrifice culture has been shaped by many influences over the years, from its shaman past, Confucian.
Isn't shaman? Shaman?
In British, we say shame.
Okay.
Confucian teachings, and even Chinese influence. Sacrifice in Korea dates all the way back to the Bronze Age. In the ancient kingdom of Puyo, it was more of a celebration and thanksgiving after their harvest. And then in the chiefdom of Dongye, sacrifice was, again, a celebration. For them, it was about praying for a good harvest. And then during the Goryeo dynasty, sacrifices were made to the spirits of all things.
Wait, what? Spirits of all things?
Yeah.
So everything?
Everything, and to the heavens. So before it was about Thanksgiving and the harvest, and now it's about praying to the heavens.
So you're saying that before they sacrificed kids for cockroaches?
I never said kids.
Spirits of the cockroaches, please help us with our...
What do you think they sacrificed?
Well, most likely it's going to be chickens, cows, or pigs.
In ancient times, pigs were seen to bring great fortune.
Oh yeah. Even now, actually, in Korea.
Yeah. So that makes them the perfect sacrifice.
Yeah, like if you dream about pigs when you're pregnant, apparently you're gonna get rich. Something like that.
This altar was built for the worship of two mythical ancient Chinese emperors. And this worship dates all the way back to Silla. It was continued by the kings of Goryeo and then Joseon. And once a year they would sacrifice pigs and oxen and pray for a good harvest. And then after the rite was performed, the king would go to the field south of the altar and then he would plough it himself to promote farming and show the commoners the importance of agriculture and farming.
What, the Chinese man?
No, the king of Korea. Are you listening?
I am listening, I am.
After they finished that, what do you think they've done with the sacrificed pig and oxen?
Well, they won't let it rot, so most likely the peasants will eat it.
Yeah, so after this, they shared out the pork and a beef soup called sonong tang. Sonong after the place and tang meaning
Soup.
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 Sonong tang slowly over the years became sonong tang. And it's still enjoyed by Koreans even today. It's the only medium-sized grid altar left in Seoul. And it goes hand in hand with our last altar. While the last altar was the king's responsibility, this one was the queen's responsibility. Actually, this was the only sacrifice that was done by the queen. And her role was to set an example of sericulture with women. Do you know what sericulture is?
No, apparently I don't.
It's actually the production of silk and rearing silkworm.
Get the woman to make the clothes.
Women's chambers, Helen. Of course, they need a kitchen there.
This altar was believed to have been constructed in 1414 for an empress, a legendary ancient Chinese empress,
Why is it China? What?
Lei Zhu. And this empress was the first person to discover sericulture.
How did she discover silking of the worms?
I don't know.
I wonder what she was doing.
Every year on the first day of the snake in March, the queen would go to this shrine and pray to this goddess for the harvest of silkworm. King Sejong, he encouraged farmers to raise silkworm and to plant mulberry trees. in each province. In Silkworm, they eat the mulberry leaves. And later, the old silk rearing rooms were gathered in modern-day Jamshir. Did you know that Jamshir actually comes from its silkworm past, the name?
Is that why there's the word shil in it?
Yeah, so Jam meaning silkworm and Shir meaning room.
Cham means silkworm?
If you go to Jamshir, there's lots of mulberry trees there. Unlike the last altar, this altar remained in use even after Korea had been liberated from the Japanese. Hwanggudan, the animal sacrifices made there were sacrifices to heaven. Okay, so this is the big one.
So what do the heavens want? Virgins?
No!
Kids?
Okay, the sacrifice originated for the worship of Shangdi. He's the god supreme deity. And it was first performed by King Seonjong in the first month of 983 AD. However, this rite can only be performed by an emperor. And at that time, Korea wasn't an empire. They didn't want to upset the Chinese because China, he was an emperor and Korea wasn't. Therefore, this rite was continuously adopted and abolished until the start of the Joseon dynasty, where it was stopped completely. However, in 1456, it was performed again, and then again in 1457. However, it was again abolished in 1464. Well, in 1897, the Joseon dynasty was renamed the Korean Empire, and the rite was revived. So finally, he can worship the heavens because he's an emperor. So he needs to build an altar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he built this altar in 1897. But again, it didn't last very long. Why do you think it didn't last very long?
Most likely someone came to Korea again.
Yeah, the Japanese annexed Korea in 1910. And they started to dismantle most of it in 1913. So actually what we saw is only a small amount of what there actually was. So what we saw, that was all that was left, and it's behind a hotel now. The gate that we just looked at is like a third of its original size. It's a little sad for something that was so important and connected to the heavens. Don't you think?
Yeah, because like especially the first two altars, if you just look at it, it just looks like a random tiny park. Looks useless.
There are still acts of sacrifice in Korea even today.
Yes, like the pig head.
Well, yeah, offering food up to your ancestors or going for rituals to shaman priestesses.
Yeah, they ride the blades.
Yeah. However, the sacrifice of livestock is long gone. Well, I hope you learned something today, and I hope you had a bit of fun too.
That's interesting.
And I hope just for a short while that these altars weren't forgotten in time.